Hello, everybody. This is Anna Frankel, Akashic record reader and channeler, with another Monday message. And today our topic is about spiraling, and more so how to stop spiraling. And you may have experienced this different times of your lives, or maybe this is more of a constant activity where your thoughts just are obsessive and they really go around in a loop, and there's no end, there's no stop, but there's also no solutions, there's no outcomes, and it's just like on repeat, and you just feel really stuck. And this spiraling of thought really stems, in my opinion, from emotions. It's because some situation or occurrence has happened or happened again, and you have emotions that haven't been able to been fully expressed or released. And so, what you only know how to do is just continue in your mind, continue in your head how to work it out. Or you think you're working it out, but really, again, you're just spiraling. You're not getting any place. It's not being fruitful or productive or even healthy at times for you to do. Generally, the idea of spiraling is negative, but there is a lot of repetition, and there is a lot of obsessiveness within spiraling. So, what I want to talk about today is how we can have a couple different exercises to try to address this when it comes about. So, starting off, really what we're trying to do is release this emotion, or the stem of the emotion, the stem of the feelings that are going on that are causing your mind and your brain just to go like sorry. But essentially, sometimes that's what I think spiraling is. A good example of this is in the movie In and Out 2. This is where they've actually introduced a new emotion, anxiety, anxiousness. And there's this one portion of the movie where she is seen spiraling, and literally in a visual representation, she's in such a swirl of thought, she actually gets frozen inside in the middle. Outside looks so frantic and everything's just going around and it's all crazy, but inside she's literally like, it is like short circuited. And that's exactly why these exercises are going to be really good, because we're going to try to get you outside of that franticness and also outside of that really just stuck feeling, that emotion of being stuck because you're looping. So, how do we really get out of your head? Because most of the time, spiraling is not actually very body somatic. It's very head and mind based. And what we are going to do is go through a couple different varieties. Some things may work for you, some things won't. These are my examples that have definitely worked for me, and I still actually do a lot of these. So, one of my most cherished exercise is the replace and repeat. So, what I mean is, you are already in a process, you're already saying something on repeat. So, now let's replace that and just keep repeating the new placement. So one of my, this is so silly. I've told my sister and friends before, but it works for me. Is there'll be times I get into a situation or something has happened to me and I am spiraling. And the first thing, of course, is awareness for, or before any of these exercises, is to really become aware that you're doing this. But once you're aware, you're like, ah, crap, I'm spiraling. Then you fit in your phrase or mantra or song. I've found the song is the best way for me personally. And my personal song, I guess I'm on a Disney kick on this video. It's from Frozen. It's Let It Go. So I'll literally be spiraling, stop, like, oh, I'm spiraling, and just start saying, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. I don't know all the words to the song, but that phrase really works for me, and I repeat it. I repeat it enough and so often that my spiraling thoughts don't even have a place in my mind anymore. It's literally being replaced with another phrase, another mantra. But you can use anything that speaks to you. I have found that certain songs or music is very deeply touching and moving enough to get you out of a spiral. But other times you may need to create your own mantra or phrase for that situation or that person. It could be, for example, that's their issue and I do not have to take it on me. And you just keep repeating it. That's their issue. I don't have to take it on. That's their issue. I don't have to take it on. And don't get me wrong, you will be repeating this on end like hundreds of times, thousands of times. I mean, depending on how often the situation or the feelings come up for you, this might be a lifelong mantra or phrase that you're using through your life. And it's because you've spent a good portion of your life already spiraling and working a certain way. So why not use that mechanism that generally is in the negative, but switch it to the positive, where you're not changing anything much besides the fact it's a different thought coming in your mind. And this new phrase or song, it's going to stem from a different emotional base. Let's say it's not fear based or shame based or guilt based. And so that is the part about breaking the cycle, where you're really just starting from a new place and just repeating your new phrase, or my phrase, let it go, let it go, let it go. Apologies for my voice, not much of a singer here. um, Another thing you could do, again, this is, let's say, exercise 2. uh, because everything is very head based when you're spiraling, you want to really get in your body. You really want to get in your body. You want to start grounding yourself, get out of your head and go inside, go here. So there's a couple different things you can do. I put my hand over my heart and I breathe deep. A couple of deep breaths all together. Other times I also do a combo. I might just stop, take deep breaths and say, let it go, or this is his issue. I don't have to take it on. And you just do things in combo. But the idea is you're trying to feel more into your body, like get into the emotions that are just kind of sticky, icky in your body, and to have a process where from here, stop that cycle and then go into the body. And other things you could do is to move your body. So you could get up, do some shaking, really shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Again, you could do this with mantra, you could do it with breath, you could get up and take a walk. The idea is do something that has a little more energy and a little more activity, that is trying to take all the spiraling that does actually take a lot of energy to do and put it someplace else. Put it in a place that is trying to break that repeat. And other things you could do is, you could do an activity. Like I said, take a walk, you could go biking, but let's say you have a hobby, or you want to go reading, or you do some arts and crafts, or go out and eat. But it's all about stopping the spiral before it just again continues to overtake you and continue to overtake you. um, and the deep breathing is really good, that really helps. But sometimes the emotional stem of your spiraling is anger or frustration, or you're super mad, or maybe even you're really scared. So sometimes, as much as deep breaths may help, it is not as a good match of breaking activity. So I'll say exercise 3 is that you can do something that is a little more attuned to that type of angry frustration emotion. So I'll give you two things I like to do. I absolutely love screaming into a pillow. Well, if you have the chance and opportunity just to scream and scream and scream, that's really great, because screaming, which in our modern day society, we don't really get a good chance to do a lot, even though I think a lot of us need to let it out that way. But to really just let it out, like just that would be great. A lot of times we don't have that opportunity, or people would come running and see what's wrong. So you could do pillow screaming or pillow punching. Really, the energy from your spiral, push it out through your voice, push it out through your body. So a pillow is a really great tool for you to have in your emotional healing kit, actually, because it allows you to physically and vocally use it to release a lot of that pent up emotion and really get it out. Um, Another really favorite thing I like to do if you have this opportunity, I love going for a drive and screaming my absolute head off. That's a really great place to really let out some of that frustration. And you could scream words, you could just scream, But there's something about such a intense emotional deep release through screaming that really touches upon anger, frustration, madness, even fear sometimes, because a lot of times we just sit here frozen, and it's still just in us. And really, then where does it go but your head? Because that's the only place it gets to go. But because we're trying to break these cycles, trying to break the spiral, we need different modalities to really let it out. All right. And for exercise 4 is journaling. You guys know I love journaling. I've said this is one of the best tools you have in your toolkit as well. But the reason journaling really works when you're spiraling, it's a lot harder to spiral as you're writing than when you are just keeping it in your head or just mumbling around like blah, 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 right? Like when you're journaling, your hand is slower than your brain. So that's part of breaking the cycle. As you're writing, even though you're spiraling and you're like writing 10 million things down, why this person annoys me, why this they're wrong, like why this happened, blah, blah, blah. You just can't write as fast as you're thinking. And so it really helps to slow the spiral, which is part of the energeticness that is chaotic in your head, to slow it down, to get to a place not necessarily of calmness, but to get a place where it's not on repeat, where it's not continually. And you can write as much as you want about the words you're spiraling, but because this modality just helps you to change the energetic vibration of it all, then it lets you have a moment where there could be, oh, okay, 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 okay. This lets me stop on repeat. Lets me stop continually going on and on, because I literally just can't do it as I'm journaling. So use that as another tool for you. And lastly, I'd say this is not always so easy, because it could be tied with a lot of past traumas or current worries. But one of the last exercise I want to talk about is follow through in thought. So a lot of times when you're spiraling, it spirals, but it actually is not a full, complete circle of thoughts. It's very much, well, he said this and this happened and da-da-da-da, and then what if and da-da-da-da, and there's so many what ifs. And a lot of times with what ifs, you never actually just complete the thought, because you're afraid or you're scared or you're worried or you're unsure or you don't believe it or you don't believe them. And so it just keeps going in a circle, because you just focus on things that are not solution based, or focused on things that have nothing to do with how to end the spiral. You're just focusing on uh, like items of the story and the scenario that actually don't get you anywhere. So this exercise actually is trying to push past, let's say, the facts of the story. And who says they're facts or truth, right? Sometimes you get so emotionally tied to something. Is it the truth? Is it not? But what we're trying to do is get through the initial storyline to how it ends. How does this end? And so what that would look like, for example, is like, okay, let's say you're in a situation where you're looking to get something from somebody, but then they're making a hard time of it for you at work. And you're looking to get the report on time, and they just, why are they not getting it to me on time? And whatever they get me, it's piecemeal and it's crappy and blah, 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 spiral, right? Spiral, spiral, spiral. And so then you work out, okay, what if they did not give it to me on time? Well, then I can't finish this piece of my project. And then if I can't finish this piece of my project, I have to ask for an extension. And if I ask for an extension, my boss may think I'm slacking. And the point of this is to see, actually, is it as bad as you think? Because sometimes it really isn't as bad as we're spiraling thinking. Sometimes it's like, oh, I just asked for an extension. It's not ideal. I don't want to do that. I don't like that my boss will be that way. Oh, again, this is now the break in the energetic thoughts. You can say, oh, well, I can also explain to him that I didn't get this portion. Oh, it's not that bad, actually. And this is a very simplified scenario, of course. There are certainly much more traumatic things that may be happening in your life or very deeply profound things surrounding your circumstances. But the idea is we get so stuck in certain thoughts that are, again, stemmed in emotions, a lot of them very fear based. Uh, and you just don't finish the thought and you just get stuck in the fear. So, we're going to try to move through it by finishing our thoughts, really finishing them, and being much more calm and logical about the outcomes of the situation we're spiraling about. And this helps because it really helps to complete the final loop, and it gives you that extra break. Again, we're trying to punch our way into this cycle and break it in any way we can with these exercises. And this particular exercise I have found to be useful if it is in a place where I can know the actual outcomes. I just haven't given myself the opportunity to sit with them. But again, sometimes you just literally don't know. And then you sit in a different space. You might be like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. But you know what? I can handle it. I know myself and my skill set and my power and my worth. So, yes, I don't know the outcome, but I can hold myself in that future. I can hold myself in the unknown. So, depending on where you are in your healing journey, this last exercise is very potentially profound for you to really understand the gifts that you have within yourself and the strength you have, and really how to use it to your benefit in this particular spiraling situation. And lastly, please, please, if you're finding yourself continually spiraling into negative or depressive thoughts that are concurrently happening for a long time and potentially into even more dangerous types of thought processes, please, please seek support from a professional. This is very important to know that these are just some tips and tools that have worked for me, but it's very important to have professional help when you are really going down into a different state that you can't pull yourself out of. And we always want to make sure you know that there is help and support out there for you. And it's okay if it's from a professional. All right, that's what I have for you today. And I really hope these exercises and tips can help you if you are spiraling, if you are getting yourself into a frenzy. And so we could get back into our body, get out of our heads, and get back into our heart space and really get back into the place where our soul knows that we are being taken care of not just by the universe, but with ourselves. All right. So thank you very much. Again, this is Anna Frankel, Akashic Record and Reader. If you have any other tips and tricks about how to get out of different spirals that you've had, please give me a comment, give me a like so I could continue to share all of these messages that I receive and also to share with others to help people along their healing journey. All right, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye-bye.